Yep, with this week's newsletter that Doug has created. Doug is joining us from St. George, Utah. Doug, what's happening? How are you, buddy?
Good. It's cold and crisp, and stay inside today, I think.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
I'm looking at the newsletter. Looks like you got some pretty
Yeah.
interesting stuff there.
There's a few things we want to talk about. A feature story this week has been kind of ongoing over the last month or more. A lot of dams are being pulled down. I don't know, everyone seems to be in the mood to get rid of dams, and that's what's happening. So even NOAA's getting involved with $87 million funding 23 projects when you talk about fish passage and barrier removal. So that's cool, I guess, makes it easier for us fly fishermen. We move around the country. Hey, I thought was really cool. Did you know, under Texas law, financial groups that engage in an anti-gun business practice are barred from doing business with the state of Texas?
Good.
Yeah, I love it. That's good news. Moving on, North Dakota, and this is also true of Vermont. Game and Fish departments in those two states are saying, hey, remove your gear from those WMAs, and if you don't, by January 31st, guess what? The Game and Fish Department will confiscate everything. So if you don't want to lose it, get it out of there. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the newsletter, there's a really cool video that isn't displaying right, but you could do it from home, about a moose that's getting rid of its antlers. I've never seen this before, but you need to take a look at that when you can. Let's see. Ethics are also required in Utah, a course on when you go to gather shed antlers. So there's a course in ethics you got to take before you do that. And I think most states are like that. They don't want you out there tearing up the landscape. Across the fishing world, the top 10 finishing boat brands for 2022. Ranger and Phoenix lead the way. Nitro and Triton, they're in there, but still Phoenix and Ranger boats. North Carolina, I couldn't get a lot of information on this, on the link. There's no link, actually. But this is a record grunt. The reason I put it there, I've never heard of a grunt before. So if you're from North Carolina, South Carolina, maybe you do understand what that fish is. But I didn't. That's really. Alabama, this is, I don't know if there's anything bigger than this, a 7-foot-long alligator gar, estimated to weigh between 80 and 100 pounds. Everything is estimated here. They didn't scale it, they didn't measure it, or anything like that. They just took a picture, but it caught attention. Well, that's the way it goes. And if you're into kayak fishing, Bassmaster Kayak Series expands their competition days for 2023 season. Kayaks come into the news often, Don. We've talked about it a lot. They took a beating out in the water. You got to be careful with those things. Have you ever heard of a company called Range USA?
Yes, sir.
I haven't.
Yeah.
They must be just back east. They've got 40 stores. I was blown away.
I don't think they go beyond the Mississippi River, quite frankly.
I doubt that, too. It's like In-N-Out Burgers are now going back east. That was always a Western franchise. So, hey, there you go. We get on to Wyoming. This is just a kind of a good-to-know type of thing. If you hunt or fish in Wyoming or just you're being outdoors, they want to know about your discoveries or whether you spotted one of the hard-to-see animals. If you do, they've got a website page that allows you to tell them what you saw, where you saw it, et cetera, et cetera. What's really bad news this week is there's some horrible people out there, and you and I both know this. It goes along the line of stupid, and we've got several cases under the Operation Game Thief category. You know, I don't get it. It happens every week. You got some guys up in Utah recently investigated several cases involving large trophy-sized deer and elk that were killed illegally across the state.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. You got to knock this off. Then we had a guy in Michigan. This was over a land border. And we had one hunter that was putting a tree stand up, and his neighbor apparently didn't like this, so he goes over and he sabotages that tree stand. The guy falls about 20 feet to the ground. They caught the guy, and they caught him because there was actually a trail cam out there.
Nice.
And, yeah, and you can see the guy with the knife cutting the stuff, you know. So, hey, you know what? Guess what? You're going to jail. He's 60 days in jail, by the way.
Good.
And the blowout of the week, I think, is up in Montana, where there were 8 men sentenced up in Garfield County for wildlife violations. The total on this was $25,000, actually $27,000 when all was said and done. You know, again, these are guys that are just out there. Oh my gosh, it blows me away. Just blows me away. Lastly, I want to show you. I thought Colts come out with a 1911. They call it a Colt Defender, short barrel, nice looking weapon. I don't know if you're a Colt fan or not, but
I own one. Yes, of course.
Of course, this is the 45. Nice looking gun, handgun. So that'll do it, Don.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pistol. You know, that's a compact version. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Maybe an easy carry. You know.
Yeah. That said, if you're interested in a 45, a custom 45, try 33rd Parallel Defense. Talk to Jared. Tell him I told you to give him a call. So, okay. Yep. Good newsletter. Appreciate all your hard work, and we'll do this again next week. If you need to sign up for the newsletter, you can go to my website, huntingfishing.com. Go to the pull-down menus under News. Follow the prompts. You too can have Doug's newsletter every week. So, all right, Doug, we'll do this again. Hey,